Hey guys, as our first lesson, I thought I'd show you how kind of breaking down an image for costuming is done, and how you kind of transition an image into reality. This is really quickly overdone because I have to do 2 costumes that are due for the 29th. The fabric I got in Toronto yesterday was for these, and I don't get my sewing machines until Monday, so I kind of have a tight crunch line for all this, but I do believe I can get it done, mostly because I'm not working a lot. So with that said, I thought we'd start with the male costume. And the first costume, these costumes are from Invader Zim, and I'll say it in the video, I don't own any rights to the images or anything to this, so and I'll put that in the doobly-dee as well. So it's gonna be really bad. This is Zim. He has green skin. It's a lot lighter than what's coming up on my screen, probably because I'm just aiming the camera at the screen. So first off, we had to get makeup for the screen. He then has this really different style hair, which happens a lot when you're doing cartooning costumes. So we thought up an idea with a black cardboard, shaping it this way, and then pinning it down to his hair, and then gelling all his hair back to kind of give it that look. That way you can have a normal head and not have it shoved in a box for every picture. Then we get to the actual shirt and the backpack, the gloves, and the boots. So let's start with the boots. The boots are going to be boot covers, and they're pretty basic. They're going to be out of black shiny PVC, and the same goes for the gloves. The hands are kind of like Spock hands, but they only have 3 fingers, or 2 fingers and a thumb. So I have to make specialized gloves for that. Then we get to the shirt, which has these black lines through it. So to do that, I'm going to do black piping, and have them in the different trunks. Then it's going to be a triangular or a flared turtleneck, and then this is just a weird thingy that I can't really explain, but I can draw it out in a different angle that kind of shows you what it is. I guess in the most basic terms, it would be like a little mini cap sleeve that's in a specialized style for this here. Then this little backpack thing I'm doing out of a metallic-y silver PVC and the same pink jersey fabric that's going to be done for the sleeves and the neck. That's pretty much just going to be stuffed, and then I'm going to hand whip stitch it onto the back of it. I think that's going to be the simplest way to do it. So although I made this sound really simple, well, his is probably more simple. It still takes time because I have to make gloves and I have to make boot covers, 2 things I did not want to do for this costume. Then we're going to be here for Gur. Gur is his little evil minion, and Gur's costume is going to be rather simple. Both of them are wearing black pants, just to let you know, so I'm not going to bother making the pants. For costumes like this, if you can make shortcuts like that, that's awesome. Okay, so Gur has this enormous head, with these little weird ears coming off of them, and a tail as well that you have to deal with. The head, I'm going to put this plastic stuff you tend to find in the bottom of your bags, to give it that square shape. The eyes are going to be done the same way as Zim's backpack. It's pretty much just going to be whip stitched onto the hood, and then it's going to have stuffing in it. It has stitching through the front, which actually makes it really easy for a costume. That means a seam can go there, and you can top stitch it just to give it that detailing. What the problem is her head's needing to come in and out. So I decided with this that we'd just put an invisible zipper through there, and that way she can zip it down and do the photos and then unzip it and let the hood hang. This convention gets really hot, so I'm trying to consider all these different things. The fabric's really light for most of the part, and you want to have breathability to the costumes. The zipper here is going to be fake, and I'm also going to make the zipper pull at the top here plush, so I'm going to put stuffing in that, and I'm going to exaggerate it, along with the tongue is going to be stuffed and exaggerated. Her sleeves are going to be long sleeves, and they're going to cut off to the second row of knuckles. And the tail and the ears are just going to be interfaced to give them some stiffness, so they'll stick up. Then for some of the detailing, like the zipper teeth and the mouth and the nose and stuff like that, the eye pupils, we're going to do fabric paint. Actually, probably we're most likely going to be using acrylic paint in black just to paint that. The problem we'll probably encounter will be with the zipper teeth because it's PVC, so it might be a black permanent marker. The head is probably the biggest problem because it has to keep the square shape and it has to be bigger. So you come into the problems with figuring that out. I'm going to now change this image to one that kind of shows it head on, which kind of helps you see the problems with the hood. So this is a shot from him pretty much head on. Eyes are a little different. We're going to do the eyes in the previous picture, and the tongue's going to be off to the side. Otherwise, everything else is the same. In this image, his head square is actually slightly different. See, the points are here, 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 and there'll be one about there in the back. So that's a different thing. So when it comes to costuming, this now becomes a problem because when it's turned this side, it looks one way. When it's head on, it looks another way, and it's like, how am I going to deal with this? So the next problem is dealing with this boxy shape. And it's actually like a curved box shape. How are you going to do this? Well, what I figured would be best would be putting the plastic in the top, right? And then having plastic in the sides. I'm bringing the plastic just to there. And then letting the rest of the fabric hang. And the reason why this won't, the plastic will make a weight with this light fabric, and what I was originally worried with would be the plastic would fall down and create like this weird crinkling. So what I have to do is the hood has to have a perfect fit to the head. The plastic at the top here is going to be sitting exactly where her head is, and it actually makes it a difficulty. There's going to be a lot of fittings for this costume to get this head to work. So yeah, this is kind of a really long talk about breakdown of costumes, and I believe I probably thought about more than just that, but I kind of have it figured out in my head, so I'm trying to re-break it down to somebody that's just looked at it. Another thing, I forgot to talk about this because I did have it figured out in my head, proportioning it to real life. Zim, his shirt looked like it came down to about where his knees was. The person that's wearing this, if you put it down to his knees, it would look like a dress. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise it up to about a mid-thigh, so it still has that length look, and it's going to have an A-line flare to it, but it's not going to be down to his knee